Rasulillah. Alhamdulillah. It is another beautiful Thursday evening, and that means it's time for Call to Guidance. Alhamdulillah, here on Salam Media. Welcome to one and all. I am Yunus Kawanga, and I am your host for the night, inshallah ta'ala. As we have a jam packed 1 hour of discussing da'wah and community development. Alhamdulillah. Before we start, we are presenting the African Muslims Agency, AMA Johannesburg, inaugural Golf Day, which is taking place this Sunday, inshallah, on the 19th of April 2026 at the Royal Johannesburg Golf Course. It is a better ball stable forward, which is the format, and it will be 1,500 per player, which includes green fees, halfway house, supper, and goodie bag, inshallah. POP should be sent to Muhammad Tahir at 083 293 0504 or at tahir at africamuslimsagency.co.za. Registration from 9:30 a.m. and the tee off from 11:30 a.m. Please register an hour before tee off. Golf carts to be booked directly with the golf course, inshallah ta'ala. The banking details are at Standard Bank African Muslims Agency, account number 061 565 253, and the branch code is 05100 and 1 at the end. So 051001. Reference JHB Golf Day, inshallah ta'ala. And with FNB, it's African Muslims Agency, account numbers 63155297708, branch code 256055. The reference is the same again at JHB Golf Day, inshallah ta'ala. For more information, can go on africanmuslimsagency.co.za, inshallah ta'ala. So, alhamdulillah, we're starting off with a very beautiful part of the program as we're looking at skills development. And alhamdulillah, tonight we are joined by a very strong hearted and strong willed individual who has been busy in the communities and trying to bring about skills development. Tonight we're joined by brother Adnaan Fataar, who's widely known as Coach Fataar, who is a skills instructor and mentor dedicated to community empowerment, rehabilitation, and youth development. Based here in Johannesburg, alhamdulillah, and he specializes in practical hands-on training aiming to reduce unemployment by providing valuable skills in welding, woodwork, and creative arts, inshallah. Coach Fataar, skills training and development, is a coach who Fataar offers specialized courses in woodwork, welding, and creative arts, targeting the youth, underprivileged individuals, and schools. And his school is known as the Islamic School of Arts, or ISOASA, inshallah ta'ala. Coach Fataar, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to Salam Media.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And jazakallah khairan for having me.
Such a beautiful. We see that sometimes might be the network, but today, inshallah, let's just try, inshallah ta'ala, one more time to see if we can get Coach Fatar there with the sound. Alhamdulillah. Just to give more into Coach Fatar's bio, the Islamic School of Arts is based in Lenasia to provide on site training. He also supports the Woodcraft Lady Iman in organizing women only woodworking classes, community impact. His classes focus on teaching skills that lead to employment or self employment, with a strong focus on empowerment, rehabilitation, and developing practical skills. Coach Fatar is actively involved in community mentorship and can be reached on his, inshallah, number. Will be displaying it towards the end, inshallah ta'ala. So let's show you one more time, inshallah. Coach Fatar, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Still having issues there. Inshallah, I'd like us to just take a quick break, inshallah, and just see if we can resolve the issue. And when we get back, inshallah, hopefully we'll have Coach Fatar with us and being able to discuss more, inshallah.
World-class financial services only at Sapphire Global, your financial partner. If you are looking for Islamic, Sharia, and ethical financial products, look no further. Sapphire Global offers a wide range of financial service offerings from short-term to life and investments. A full-service center with all financial requirements under one brand. Our highly skilled and experienced consultants are ready to help protect your financial future. Contact us on 041 001 0184 or visit our website on www.sapphireglobalfs.com. Sapphire Global is an authorized financial services provider.
Across Sudan, starvation is tightening its grip. With rising food prices and widespread malnutrition, 8.7 million people are now facing emergency or famine-level hunger. As the conflict intensifies and aid routes narrow, families in Sudan are running out of options and time. The Al Imdad Foundation is delivering life-saving humanitarian aid to those most at risk. Stand with Sudan. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Elite Basmati, available throughout the Middle East, and now for the very first time exclusive to South Africa, brought to you by Matches and Spice, Pietermaritzburg's most famous specialty store. Elite Basmati available in aromatic white and golden color, is packaged in a unique class of 17 kg and is full of wholesome goodness for your well-being. Elite Basmati rice by Matches and Spice. For trade inquiries, contact
Golf for a Cause. Join us for African Muslims Agency's inaugural Charity Golf Day in Johannesburg on Sunday, 19th April at the pristine Royal Johannesburg Golf. Tee off for hope as we Everyone is welcome to join our golfing journey in service of humanity. Great sponsorship opportunities available for businesses and 1,500 Rand per play. Contact the AMA Houghton office for more information.
Welcome to one and all. Alhamdulillah, we have Coach Fataar with us, Coach Adnaan Fataar, and we'll see, inshallah, as we talk into the programs that he runs. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Coach Fataar, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Right. Just trying to sort out the sound one more time. Again, we're looking at the unemployment situation in South Africa. About a day ago, I just checked one video online on TikTok where it was showing a very large group of unemployed youth in Tembisa, who were going around Midrand to all the factories in that area and handing their CVs to the different factories and factories which are around the Midrand area, so that they can try and get some employment. And it was really a sad scene as we saw hundreds, if not thousands, of unemployed youth. And this is one of the things that we have such discussions to look at skills development, where we have to see how this can come into play and how this can actually assist in bringing down the unemployment rate in South Africa, more specifically with the youth who are always the target when it comes to unemployment. We see the rate or the statistics is almost 50% of the youth are unemployed. So there's persons between the ages of 13 to 34. And it's a very dangerous situation because we need to have solutions. But at the same time, we've seen that at this time, it's a time for us to actually prepare people, even if a person is not really or learning the skill only for employment, but rather just to have the skill. Things like woodwork, things like welding, things like metallurgy, like basic steps that a person can actually learn so that they can use these skills in a day-to-day life, inshallah ta'ala. And we see that also at the same time others are empowered to be self-employed because they see that for them to go around and looking for employment becomes really heavy and stressful. So rather look at ways where people can now start their own businesses in these with these skills. But on the weekend, I went to visit my uncle, and we are just talking about my cousin who's doing his plumbing course, and he's actually almost done. He's just waiting to get certified and all that accredited. And it's a really one thing that you learn that you need to have a set of skills. I myself, inshallah, I'm looking to get into woodworking myself, inshallah, so that I can learn how to make my own table. One thing that I really love is coffee table, and I think it's about time I actually make my own coffee table, and instead of just hoping to buy it somewhere. So these are the things that we need to push our youth into, specifically in our communities as Muslims. We learn very well that the best risk comes to those people who work for it with their own hands. We look at the example of Sayyidina Dawood alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted him the skill that he was able to forge steel with his own hands. And this actually brought him that sense of being able to provide for himself halal sustenance through the work of his hands. And that's how we need to push each other, inshallah ta'ala. Just trying to see if we have Coach Fataar on the line there, inshallah.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum wa
Wa alaikum
rahmatullah.
salam wa rahmatullah. Coach Fataar, Jazakallah khaira for joining us tonight.
No problem, brother. Jazakallah for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. It's really an honor because we love having to speak to people like such as yourself who are really putting themselves in a space where you're trying to bring about solutions to the problems the many problems that we are facing, specifically dealing with the youth, and at the moment the youth unemployment rate, which is surging out of control. But trying to look at it, Coach Fataar, before we go much into the skills programs, I would like to know in terms of your personal experience on how you actually got into being able to provide such programs, inshallah.
Okay, first of all, I'm a very passionate craft instructor. I love to empower communities out there with practical skills. I've gained this knowledge, way back, through my life. Gather knowledge here and there. I like to do practical things. And this is basically how I gain a lot of knowledge in welding and woodworking and creative arts. So that is the reason why I'm so passionate to basically, train communities, especially the underprivileged out there.
Subhanallah. Coach Fataar, I remember when I was still back in school, and there were some classes which were being, given to learners, but these were more, extra classes if you wanted to do that of woodworking. And at that time, many people used to see woodwork and other classes like that as useless. But today we have come to see that these classes are actually pushing people into a point whereby they are now able to start their own businesses and get into certain industries and work well. So in terms of your experience in the woodworking and being an instructor for so long, how has this actually impacted the community from your own personal experience?
From my personal experience, obviously we know skill training and development plays a very, very big role, in every country basically. From my experience, right, there are different kinds of sectors I touch on. For instance, if you look at a skill, something like special needs, right? I touch on that in that area. I touch in areas like rehabilitation centers and also private, and also people who just need it, to maintenance in their homes, or and then some people will take the courses for basically make a living of, So it's different areas basically, that I touch on.
Subhanallah. And Alhamdulillah, Coach Fatar, I see that you're very, your focus is not only on one group of people, but it's actually diverse, mashallah. Adding on also with the schools of yeah, kids with special needs, which at most of the times we do find that they become ignored and not really taken into consideration.
Absolutely, brother.
Subhanallah.
Absolutely,
I actually watched
yeah.
one clip of yours on TikTok when you were doing a program at one of the schools, and it was really heartwarming. And at the same time, it got me thinking that, these are the type of programs we need in our community to bring everyone together. And regardless of a person's condition and ability or disability, a person needs to be,
100%.
part of the community. Coach Fatar, now going into the programs that you provide, what types of skills programs do you offer? And in terms of how do they then work in the community? And what are the main concepts of why you brought up such programs, inshallah?
All right. First of all, I have to look at what is useful in the community, okay, and what is because got good market, So, for instance, if I teach somebody a skill, that skill must be useful to this person. They mustn't stuck with it, and they must be able to carry on with it. All right. So if you take woodworking is it's a skill that is very very popular, and also it taps into a lot of avenues out there. Like for instance, your furniture. That's number one. Your little crafts that you can do and sell. You and various other avenues you can tap into with woodwork. So if you really look at it, it's like when you have the skill and the know-how how to use the tools and how to use what kind of wood you're working with, thickness of wood and sizes of screws and stuff like that, you'll be able to to work out a beautiful business for yourself. And then if you look at welding is my other skill. Welding have a vast areas to tap into. Welding, you can use gates, you can make gates, you can get the engineering work, you can have shipbuilding, you can work on a rig, you can it is basically skills that I've chosen that will they can tap into, and there's a big variety of jobs available, and if they don't find a job for that moment, they can carry on with it on their own, also as well. And then when it comes to creative arts is also another skill to have, and also different kinds of things you can do, sculpturing. When it comes to oil paintings, calligraphy, art, you can do geometrical, Arabic geometrical paintings, and from there you can carry on to landscapes and plaster art, and in various other mediums. So I've chosen these three. So I don't want them to stagnate, and say, okay, I keep the course, or I've learned some skills here by Coach Fataar, but I'm still stuck and I'm not making anything. I also give some business advice, for them to carry on, and what to do, how to advertise, and so on and so on.
No, most definitely, inshallah. And like you said, that these three specifically, looking at woodwork and welding, they have a very vast field of opportunities. And I think many people don't actually realize this. And those also are fields which really always are seeking, because I know every time when I'm checking for vacancies, always a boiler making vacancy out there, or some factories are looking for welders, etc. And these are the skills that we need in our communities to push also. Now, in terms of joining the programs, Coach Fatar, how can a person then join the training program? And plus minus, how long would it take a person to complete a typical workshop?
So I have programs, many different types of programs. Okay, I have, if we call it workshops. Workshops will run for 3 hours to 4 hours, but that is only to make to understand the basics, right? So it's introduction to woodworking, and also you will walk away with a product that you have completed at the end of the day. That's workshop. So when it comes to courses, I have various courses, 36-hour courses, full courses. Where participants will walk away with a certificate, of competence, and they will have something behind them. So these courses run for 36 hours, and then I also have like group classes. So groups is basically, if there's a group of 30, I'll go out there on site and I complete, and I obviously negotiate price because it's about 30 participants, and then from there it's about 4 hours, sometimes 12-hour course. There you'll gain enough knowledge, to actually run a business at the end of the day, or to go for an interview and tell them, this is what I did, this is what I can do, that kind of thing. So yeah, that is basically what I offer, And then I also have privates, obviously, we have private students, besides on-site, or I have programs at organizations and institutions as well, or I run on a monthly basis, like maybe 8 times a month I go there and do the skill training for them also. So that's basically how I do it, Moulana.
Really impressive, mashallah. And we really love to see more people getting into these programs, because
Exactly.
there's a big shift that we are seeing, Coach Fataar, and I think people are not really looking at it, especially now with the issue of AI coming into play. Many people are actually quite worried in terms of the employability for the near future, and others feel as though there's no the options of employment are really restricted due to the course we're going into. But anyhow, we really need to get more people into the skills program. Now, Kush, in terms of the community impact, we see many programs always come up, and that there seems not to be really much of a longevity. 1 or 2 programs and the program will die out. But now with your program, Alhamdulillah, we've really seen it pushing, and with interactions also with different communities, Alhamdulillah. Now, how does your programs then help the young people in the community, and with using whatever course it may be, whatever workshop it may be, how does that not only end as a skills program, but carry on further with other points in terms of life skills, etc.?
If I understand your question properly, in communities, right, when it comes to the youngsters and how it helps them, at the end of the day, what I do basically, right, I don't only give the skill of that particular skill, like woodworking. I also come up with inspirational and motivational talks with the youth, at the end of the day, because this is what they need in this day and time, this day and age, basically. So when I do that, I have some deep interacting ways that I bring in with the youth, because I know, at the end of the day, they will need it as it's part of the program as well. So alhamdulillah, in that way, how it helps the youth when it comes to that advice that an elder gives them with the skill training development. It also gives them motivation and to focus on where they're heading, or give them a direction. So that's the reason why sometimes it's not dying out when I give them these classes, and just they just go off and they won't see them again, or this and that. There's always a connection whenever I get them, whenever I have the feedbacks on my social media platform. You can hear, there's some improvement going on, and they're doing something, at the end of the day. So yeah, with my skill training, motivational talks, inspirational talk is very important. life skills. That's how I did it at the end of the day.
No, Alhamdulillah, most definitely. And another thing which I think we've seen most of the times when someone is going out there looking for employment, and they might have maybe they might have the education or qualifications, but one of the main word which is always used is experience. And I think that's one daunting word that no one wants to hear when they go for a job application. Now, in terms
Absolutely.
of the programs that coach offers, can then a beginner then join in even if they do not have any experience in woodwork, nor do they have experience in welding, nor creative arts?
Absolutely, because this is the place where they're going to get knowledge from at
Mm,
the end of the day. You know what I mean? So yeah, you don't need any experience when you come to me. I take it from the start. I take you from the start. There are many, especially the special needs. This is amazing.
mm,
Whenever I ask them, did you actually touch the drone already or use the drone? None of them. I haven't seen. Nobody has ever told me that I did, because I think obviously um, the guide will tell him, no, you not right for you to touch. You might hurt yourself. You
mm,
know what I mean? Because of the disability and stuff like that. In my classes, I give them opportunities to do that. I first focus and see where the strength is. And when I find the weaknesses in the strength, I'll know exactly in which hand I must put this and
mm,
which hand I must put that. I can feel, that this is what I need to do with this one. So, and then at the end of the day, couple of months down the line, you'll see, there we go. This is first a disabled person, but look
mm,
at that. He can drill a hole through. He can screw the two wood together. He can do a lap joint. He can do a butt joint. You know what I mean? And he can do something for himself.
mm.
And then as they go along, obviously they need more experience. So yeah, you don't need experience when you come to me. I work with you. I work with
Subhanallah. Now, Coach, from a personal experience and success stories point of view, can you share with us a success story from one of your students whom went through the training and something actually changed in their lives, inshallah?
Well, there's one story that I can tell you, but this happened inside the workshop,
Mm,
and it's long with me when I was starting to see that the same student, started to help others, inside the workshop, and also starting to help them to complete certain projects. And this was I was very amazed about this, because this was somebody that you never thought would be able to teach somebody else,
mm,
rather than trying to get his own experience and carry on. So for me, that is one of the success stories at the end of the day. For this student, I will definitely recommend also to do a course by me for teaching, so that he can go to his communities out there and he can teach his own skill training development.
mm.
And I'm looking at that as well.
Subhanallah. And in terms of, let's say, a school organization or maybe a rehabilitation center would love to have coach come and run a workshop, how can they book uh, a program with coach, inshallah?
Um, Basically, my social media accounts all have my WhatsApp details, so everybody can just WhatsApp me to make a booking at the end of the day, or negotiate price wise and fees wise and stuff like that.
Mm,
Because I'm open for negotiations as well, because I know not everybody can just afford it, just like that, So my aims and objectives is to help the community, rather than to making tons of money, help the teacher, the youth out there. That's my dream of the
yeah, no, most definitely. And in terms of those who would want to be part of the program in terms of sponsorship, etc., how can they get on the board with coach, inshallah?
All they need to do is WhatsApp me, and inshallah, from there you can have a meeting and whatever. After that, inshallah, we can make it work also. So
Inshallah.
I'm open for sponsorship. I'm open for volunteer work and stuff like that. Because that's what we need. At the end of the day, my whole dream is, to see basically, since our unemployment rate is so high, I think behind every corner, around every corner, in every community, there should be somebody like me that teach somebody skills out there, so that they can have some foundation, to work from in communities.
Inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan, Coach. Any last words before we go?
Last words is this, right? Like I say, right? I would want to see that communities out there, especially the artisans that are at home, to also come up with the same idea that I have and help the community, especially the underprivileged youth and the disadvantaged, to teach them skills in communities at large. I urge them, everyone that is at home, take this very seriously. Our youth is going down, they're going the wrong routes. Please help them, teach them, make a little small workshop from your home somewhere, or at a little school, whatever you have, skills you have, share it with them. It will be a help for our country.
No, most definitely, Coach. And Jazakumullah khaira once again to Coach Fattar for such a beautiful presentation of the skills program. And for those who want to contact Coach, can contact at 078-191-3269 and get in touch for any programs, any workshop, or whatever the community that you are in might need, inshallah ta'ala, or even if it's about teaching other people so that they can then be facilitators later on. They can get the teaching and the training from Coach, and inshallah we can carry on. Like Coach said, that he wishes there be more people who are doing exactly what he's doing, empowering youngsters and helping them to push the point of skills training forward, and so that we can beat unemployment together, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullah khaira once again, Coach, and we hope to always be in touch with yourself and have more programs, inshallah ta'ala, in our communities, inshallah.
No problem, Moulana, and Jazakallah khairan for this opportunity.
Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Alhamdulillah. So there's the end of our first segment with Coach Adnaan Fataar talking about the skills development and his hope to see this spread far and wide, inshallah ta'ala, on our war against unemployment, inshallah. So let's take a break. And after the break, inshallah ta'ala, we're speaking to Brother Ashraf Jacobs on one of their initiatives, which is the Mother's Day fundraiser for aid in terms of the Umrah package or Umrah project, inshallah, helping youngsters and some people who are trying to, fulfill their dream of going for Umrah, inshallah ta'ala, this coming Mother's Day, inshallah ta'ala. So let's take a break and we'll be back.